Oh, hi everyone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas Eve, and I hope everyone's having a good time. It is hard to believe that 2018 is almost over. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like this year has kind of cruised by. It's just flown by. But I'm also really excited for 2019 and what that year might bring us, particularly where video games are concerned. Now, if you've been following me for a while, then you know that Cyberpunk 2077 is among my most anticipated upcoming titles, and I'm pretty sure this sentiment is shared by many of you out there as well. The game was kind of on my radar when it was first announced, but it wasn't until I saw that gameplay demo from E3 2018 that I realized just how much potential this game holds. Not long after, CD Projekt was kind enough to release the gameplay demo to the general public, and naturally, the internet lost their collective minds as they watched the player character traverse through the vertically sprawling Night City. Now, there is still a lot of debate about when we can expect the game. From rumblings I've heard, there's still enough work left to be done for the game that we might see it launch sometime in 2020, maybe even beyond. However, others share a more optimistic outlook, especially a report by Polish analyst firm Stockwatch. The following information was first conveyed by Reddit user Beatles, who posted an excerpt from the report. Unfortunately, few could read it given it was all in Polish, but then another user going by the name Dr4kun stepped in and did a thorough translation. What's conveyed here is quite interesting, though it's important to keep in mind that this is an analysis, so it's not confirmation of anything. So here's what the report had to say about prospects for Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 versus Red Dead Redemption 2. We're keeping to the estimation of a debut in Q4 of 2019 with sales of 19 million copies in Q4 alone, and income of 1.9 billion Polish currency, around 525 million US dollars. During a conference call, the board has confirmed that quality remains the absolute highest priority for CD Projekt, and Cyberpunk 2077 will be no less elaborate and polished than Red Dead Redemption 2. For comparison, the sales of Red Dead Redemption 2 gross was 725 million US dollars within the first 3 days after it shipped, 15 million copies within the first 8 days, and 17 million copies within the first 12 days, data from Take-Two. The game was only released on PS4 and Xbox One consoles. With that in mind, our forecasts for Cyberpunk 2077 seem very reserved. Remember, the game will be simultaneously both on the consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, and PC. We also believe that the world of cyberpunk sci-fi should be more popular among gamers than the Wild West. Alright, first things first, let's discuss the Q4 2019 release window. That's a tough one. While it's not an impossibility that we might see the game ship a year from now, behind-the-scenes rumors suggest 2020 is a more likely prospect. While the game has been in development for a number of years now, not all those years have been productive, based on reports of the project being put on hold during the development of Witcher 3 and its DLCs, and given the numerous reboots and technological revisions that occurred behind the scenes as well. It's only in recent years that we have seen Cyberpunk 2077 development kick into full gear, and while it's clear that they at least have some kind of vertical slice built, judging by the gameplay demo we saw, which is running on a working build of the game, CD Projekt Red has expressed there is still a lot of work left to be done, and a release date doesn't seem like it's anywhere near in sight. But I don't know, this is all conjecture on my part. Maybe the analyst sees something that I don't. I'd honestly be surprised if the game was announced for a late 2019 release, though I certainly wouldn't mind it. As for the notion that Cyberpunk 2077 could sell as many as 19 million copies in Q4 2019 alone, if CD Projekt Red continues their marketing streak and if the game ends up garnering the kind of acclaim that's anticipated, then I would say Cyberpunk 2077 could easily meet that mark and surpass it. Even the analyst believes 19 million is a conservative estimate, given it's not just launching on consoles but on PC as well, unlike a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, which managed to sell 17 million copies in less than 2 weeks, despite only having launched on Xbox One and PS4. While I doubt Cyberpunk 2077 will surpass the likes of Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead, Given the generally positive reputation CD Projekt Red has, and given how excited people seem to be about Cyberpunk, 19 million in a quarter is well within the realm of possibility, and like the analyst said, a cyberpunk sci-fi game has the potential to be even more popular among gamers than a game set in the Wild West, so there is incredible potential for financial success here, especially if it does turn out that Cyberpunk 2077 is as polished as Red Dead Redemption 2, a goal that CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski adamantly expressed during a financial briefing from late November. From there, Reddit user DR4kun extrapolated further by noting that Stockwatch is a pretty recommendable source of stock market information, meaning that while nothing they say is absolute confirmation, they are reliable when it comes to providing analysis for potential investors. It would seem as though they see a bright future ahead for CD Projekt Red. On top of the statement they provided on Cyberpunk 2077, they also discussed the performance of titles like Gwent and Thronebreaker. They assure that CD Projekt Red's recent drop in stock value by 33% can be attributed to a general drop of 20% within the whole sector and shouldn't be a major cause for concern, and raised further optimism for Cyberpunk 2077 prospects by noting how games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War, which gained critical accolades and sold very well, prove that the market for single-player AAA titles is vibrant, and how the great performance of such games forecast huge success for Cyberpunk 2077. I would have to agree there. Time and again, 2018 has disproven the notion that live services are the way of the future, and that high-budget single-player releases are no longer viable, and I have little doubt that Cyberpunk 2077 will disprove that notion even further. Finally, Stockwatch's report concluded by changing their rating on CD Projekt Red stock from neutral to purchase, further suggesting a bright outlook for the company and its upcoming projects. So, Q4 2019, huh? While the existing marketing push hasn't suggested we'll see the game launch that soon, CD Projekt Red did previously express interest in pursuing a marketing campaign similar to that of Fallout 4, meaning they might announce the game only a couple months before it is actually set to launch. So it's entirely possible they'll go up on stage during E3 2019 and reveal that its release date does indeed fall within a Q4 2019 window. But even if that prediction doesn't hold out, what the hell, I'm willing to wait however long it takes until CD Projekt Red deems the project to be ready. That Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay video showed me the immense potential this project holds, and I say CD Projekt Red should take all the time they need to fully realize their ambition with this endeavor. Anyway, that's it for this news update. I'd love to hear what your take is on the information conveyed by the market analyst in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. To be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.